everyone, you're watching BenCo01, and today in this video I will be doing my full review of the Samsung Galaxy Ace 2X. Now let's jump on in and see if this is a good low-end smartphone. Now we're going to start out with the design of this phone, and so I'll take you through a tour quickly of the device. On this side here you have a volume rocker, and it's all just side plastic, and the front is plastic, the back is plastic, and it feels alright. It's not the best backing. On the back you have your camera, which is a 5 megapixel camera, single LED flash, speaker grill right there, and a power button. And down here you've got your 3 Samsung buttons they like to include, which, if I can get them to illuminate, they are menu, back, and home, and the home button that they use. And it's so far, well, it works pretty well. And so also, that is about it for the phone, except on the front we have a 1 megapixel camera. Overall, for $250 off contract, this is a fairly nice phone. It feels pretty good. And you can take the back off, take the SIM card out, and it's kind of a little bit of a cheap phone. But overall, it should be well built. Now moving on to the hardware of the phone, let's do a bit more specs. This has a 1 GHz single-core Snapdragon processor, and it sounds a little bit measly, but it does seem to get the job done, and it can run a little bit of vigorous stuff. It should be able to play a fair bit of games. It's certainly not great for speed, but it should get the job done for normal tasks. Web browsing is pretty smooth, as I will show you right here. And yeah, it runs very smoothly, and it's very nice to type on. Actually, for a 4-inch display, you get used to it after a while. We will just type in Co01, and you will see in a second that it is pretty fast. After it still is a bit small for typing on, but I'll show you that it is pretty smooth to get in. And sorry about all this. This is really not doing justice, but it's got a bit of pinch, and you can see text pretty clearly on this display, which it is a 320 by 480 pixels, and it is fairly nice, and overall it can get the job done, but it's not amazing. Moving on to the software side of things, you can see that this phone is running Samsung's TouchWiz 4.0, and that is pretty nice for a low-end smartphone. It depends. It's more of a love it or hate it thing. If you like TouchWiz or you hate it, there's not really many people. I personally like it. I think it's one of the better ones, even though it is cartoony. I kind of like that, but it's just personal preference, so it depends if you like TouchWiz. It does slow it down, and I do not like that, but it's running Android 4.0.4 under that. And you have most of the stuff. You got a few S apps. There's no S voice on this, but you have your standard Google apps, and TELUS doesn't have any bloatware on here. Moving on to a few bonus things. The call quality on this phone is just alright. It'll definitely be fine at getting calls. I've had very few drop calls, and the bars will stand to be alright in most of your area. This is a HSPA Plus phone if you get through TELUS, and the speeds are alright. That's about as good as it gets. And for call quality, the speaker sounded decent, and the person on the other hand said they could hear me not too perfectly compared to other phones such as HTC One X, for example. But it will get the job done, and most people don't do much calling anyways. But now moving on to the 2 cameras. The 5 megapixel camera, again, it's just alright. Some of the images looked kind of grainy. They overall were not the best. So as you can see, it does show colors alright, and it's just overall an alright experience. Moving on to my overall verdict of this phone, it's just meh. It's just alright overall. It doesn't do anything overly good, but it doesn't do anything overly bad. And that is actually very good for a low to mid-end smartphone, especially at the price of $250. That is a very good price, and I'd say, especially I've used this with people I know, and for a first-time phone, this is going to be a great phone. If you're a teenager or something, wants a phone, but they want all of Android and like Galaxy S3, this is a good choice. So overall, I'm going to rate this a 7. and it is a very solid buy for a first-time phone, and probably the best if you're looking in the low-end market. So thanks for watching this review. I'm Ben. I'll see you guys in the next video. Be sure to like and subscribe for more content, and I'll see you later.